Good evening if you're with me. I'm just getting everything set up tonight. Hey, Chris, how are you? I'm dual streaming again this week. I'm getting my TikTok set up here. So bear with me. It seemed to work okay last week when I did it, so I'm going to try it again tonight. See how it goes. Oops. Hey, Blake, how are you? Good to see you. I hear you, Chris. That's never a fun trip to make. Actually, I thought about this because I went out of town for the 4th of July weekend, and coming home period, I think doesn't matter where you're coming home from, coming home period is just not nearly as much fun or as much energy as going wherever that may be, but certainly Disney. Hey, Lamons, welcome in. And Jessica, hi there. How are you? I'm doing the dual stream again tonight on TikTok and YouTube. And I flipped my phone holder, so I'm right here. So hopefully I'm not having to bounce back and forth as much. Hey, Ronnie, welcome in. Got lots of stuff tonight to do. We got questions. We got some news and information, and have trivia. We're going to do true false trivia tonight. Jessica, guess what? Ruby officially said she wants to try Epcot Day 2. Yay, Ruby, I love it. Road Trip, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. We'll give it about 2 minutes. I guess I'm a couple minutes early. And I was ready on time tonight. Last week, I don't remember if I shared, but I had my little granddaughter Poppy over while my son was working on some stuff, and he was running behind. So it was like 5 minutes before we were supposed to go live last week, and I was still holding on to her. So I was a little stressed. I kind of like to be early on everything. Hey, Dina, welcome in. If you're just joining me on TikTok and you're new here, good evening. My name is Mike. I'm a travel agent that specializes in Disney. We do a weekly live. I'm on TikTok on my phone and YouTube on my laptop. This is a great opportunity for us to chat about Disney. I'll answer questions that people have. I share whatever the newest news or rumors are that have come out. And then we wrap up with a fun interactive activity. Tonight, we're going to do true false trivia. So if you're new here, welcome in. Hopefully you'll hang around and have a good time with us. I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes. Chris, I know you had questions that you asked. Cece had a couple questions, and Helen had a question or two as well. So give them a minute to see if they can join. Well, so Ronnie says she's horrible at trivia. So hey, Cece, so the good news is, Ronnie, it's true false. So you already have a 50-50 shot of being right. I mean, last week it was just an open-ended question. You had to give me an answer. So this is much easier. I guess you could almost think that maybe I designed this just for you, Ronnie. I'm realizing that with both my phone and the laptop, the glare is horrible on my glasses. So I apologize for that. Hopefully it's not as bad on your guys' end as it is on mine, but I'm afraid it probably is. I'm not sure how to resolve that without monkeying around with a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to do that tonight while we're chit-chatting here. How was everybody's 4th of July weekend? Anybody do anything exciting? Go anywhere? Did you shoot off fireworks? Did you go to a fireworks show? Tell me about your weekend. Jessica went to the beach. That's awesome. So Jessica, since you said the beach, I saw this article the other day. It had the best beaches in all 50 states. And I paused for a second because when I hear beach, I think ocean or the Gulf of Mexico. I don't think of beaches at lakes. So it was kind of funny. Blake ran a big race up in Kentucky. I was second loser. What? The fact that you competed, you're a winner in my book. Hundred 127 days, Anthony says. That's right. Countdown's getting real. Once we get inside of 3 digits, then it's really exciting, Anthony. 3rd place overall, Blake. That's amazing. I could absolutely finish 3rd in a race as long as they only let 3 of us enter. That would be my shot. Dina had a family picnic and watched Epcot fireworks on the stream. That's cool. Family picnic. I like that. Hey, JJ, welcome in. Hi, Brooke. Helen, welcome in. Hi there. I didn't see you sneak in on me. So we're going to give it 1 more minute, and then we're going to dive into the questions that were sent in, talk about Disney stuff, and then we'll do our true-false trivia. Hello, John Ransom. How are you? Made lots of healthy treats this weekend, Jessica says. That's cool. I like that. I don't know that I'd eat many of them, but I like it. Main Street, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. All right, let's start. We are at 6:33, so we'll get rolling here. Hey, Brooke, I see you. How are you? Blake, you're up first. Blake had asked, will Test Track have a virtual queue when it opens? So if you're not familiar, Test Track is opening on July 22nd, which is 2 weeks from today, as a matter of fact. No, there will not be a virtual queue when Test Track reopens on the 22nd. They will have standby line, and it will be a part of the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. It will be a Tier 1 selection on the Multi-Pass. So keep that in mind if you're doing Epcot and you're going to do Multi-Pass. And I'm going off memory here, guys, so bear with me. So Test Track will be a Tier 1 option. Frozen Ever After is a Tier 1. Remy is a Tier 1. And Soarin' is a Tier 1. So when you make your 3 pre-selections, if you're doing Multi-Pass, you can only pick 1 Tier 1 option and 2 Tier 2 options in those pre-selects. Once you've ridden your first ride, then they don't track the Tier 1 stuff. So for argument's sake, if I had Living with the Land as a Lightning Lane at 9:05 a.m. right after the park opens, as soon as I badged into that, I can make my next selection. Even though one of my other 2 selections is a Tier 1 option, I can select another Tier 1 option at that point in time. Chris, that's certainly possible that they'll move Soarin' down to Tier 2. Hey, Scal, welcome in. I'll believe it when I see it, just because it's still a really popular ride, even though it's been around as long as it has. So we'll see. But I could possibly see that happening. Clearly, Frozen and Remy will not get moved anytime soon. Those rides are incredibly popular. So, Blake, are you good there with that answer? And I know, Chris, you'd asked something about Lightning Lane stuff here, and I'll get to your question next. But I want to make sure that Blake is good on his. Yeah, I don't know, Chris, if or when they'll move Soarin' to Tier 2. But that would be a good thing for a lot of us. Okay, so Chris, your question was next. Chris had asked, has it always been that when you book one ride, you can't book the same ride at a different time in the same day? So Chris is talking about Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. When you purchase that, it's a set price per park for the day. And the price will vary based on Disney's projection of crowd levels. I think when we did Epcot last month, when we were there, we did Epcot on Sunday, and the price was like $8 or $10 cheaper than had we done Epcot on Saturday. So if you have flexibility in your park days, you want to keep an eye on the price when those get announced for your trip, and then maybe be flexible on which day you go to which park, so that you can take the best advantage of that price. Uber Steve, how are you, sir? It's good to see you. I don't think I've ever seen you on this end of a TikTok live, but I'm glad to see you. Okay, so Chris asked, has it always been that you can only book one ride and you can't book the same ride at a different time in the same day? So with Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Chris, that is correct. Ever since the advent of Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, we'll go back to my example. Once I book Living with the Land for a multi-pass ride, I cannot book that ride again for multi-pass. I can do standby at any point in time throughout the day, but I cannot book it a second time. If you attempt to do so, it will tell you clearly that it is not available for you. And I did a little research back just to kind of give us some historical perspective. Prior to Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, when it was Genie Plus, you could not do the same ride more than one time through the Genie Plus system. For those of us that have been around a little bit longer and remember with Fast Pass, which was the free service, and you could get the 3 pre-selects, and then you'd go to a kiosk and get a little ticket printed out. Your 3 original picks, you could not pick the same ride twice, but once you'd exhausted those, you could, as long as there was availability left, you could get a Fast Pass ticket for the same ride multiple times. And then lastly, this isn't multi-pass or Genie or Fast Pass, but anybody who has a DAS pass, the Disability Accessibility Service Pass, that does allow you to do the same ride multiple times throughout your day. So keep that in mind. If you have a DAS and you're utilizing that, it does not have the same ride limitations as the multi-pass does. Chris, yeah, I know. I suppose, so Chris had said, if you're not on YouTube, he said that, I'll clean it up a little bit. He said that kind of stinks considering how much you pay for it. I suppose the alternative, Chris, is that Disney could come out with, wait, they did the Premier Pass for a lot more money. You can ride and ride and ride. So it's all about the financials, right? But I'll tell you, for my perspective, Magic Kingdom, Epcot in particular, those two, and I shared this last week when we all got together here, that there were 7 adults and then my grandson. We got to ride everything we wanted to, utilize the multi-pass. We got 8 or 9 rides each day that we were there. It worked great. But there really wasn't a lot of time left over for us to ride the same ride multiple times. I know Chris said, especially for a huge family, I suppose you're talking about the amount of money for a huge family. It wasn't cheap, right? I'm just going to do simple math. At $30 a day for Magic Kingdom, that was $210 for the 7 of us to have the multi-pass. However, $210 is a lot cheaper than having to buy a second day's park admission ticket for the 7 of us to go back to Magic Kingdom because we didn't get to ride everything we wanted to ride. So you kind of balance those two things out, I suppose. So Chris, I know that's not the answer you wanted, but did that answer your question? I want to be fair there. I got to scroll back over here to see what I missed. Uber Steve, you're stalking me. I love it. I'll be reaching out to you pretty soon, Steve-O. I think, as I've been told already, it's about 127 days thereabouts until I'll be back down. Briggs says hello. Hi, Briggsy. So for those of you who don't know, Briggs is my grandson, who's about 20, good and gravy. He is 23 months old today. Lori, I just realized today is his 23rd month birthday, if you will. He'll turn 2 a month from today. So happy 23 months, Briggsy. I'm glad you're with us, buddy. Papa misses you. Okay, good. Chris, you're good. All right. Helen's up next. Helen, are you still with me? Oh, I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. I know, Jessica. Isn't it crazy? He's going to be 2 years old next month. It blows me away. Okay, so Helen is with us. So Helen asked for a list of indoor activities to do when it's raining, especially at night. And I'm going off of memory, Helen, but I think you said it's like 2 adults and then like a 2-year-old. Somewhere in that neighborhood is what you said. Yeah, JJ Squish is kind of watching. He's probably watching me wave, maybe on the phone